that's what Paul is trying to tell them here in Galatians chapter 6, verse number 9. Paul said, you are at the point where you are in danger of letting exhaustion and fatigue win out, and you're going to quit in the midst of a divine process. And Paul said, if you quit in the midst of a divine process, then the divine guarantee is no longer guaranteed. Oh, Lord have mercy. You mean to tell me God's not going to honor his word? God's not going to come through like he said? Well, he's only coming through when you finish the divine process. So when you don't finish the process and you quit in the midst of it, then you disqualify yourself for reaping in due season. Lord, but I know it's easy to talk about not getting weary in well-doing. It's easy to talk about it, but Lord, it's sure enough hard to live. Oh, it's hard to hold on. It's hard to keep things together. And why? Because oftentimes we feel like everything is zapping everything out of us. And see, you've not really been through anything until you feel like everything is zapping everything. Now, let me help you. Everything is still relative to who you are. So if you don't have much, it doesn't take much to zap your everything. But even those who got a lot, still there comes some situations that still challenge everything that you have. And Lord have mercy, sometimes the only thing you can think to do is just camp out on the side of the road. Oh God, son, have you ever felt like just pinching a tent? Just, Lord, I'm tired of this journey. I can't go back, but Lord knows I don't know how I'm going to get where you're going. I'm going to pitch a tent right up in this piece right here. And I'm going to pull out my little kerosene lamp and pull out my little Coleman stove, and I'm going to cook and work this thing right here. Because God, I don't know if I can take too much more of this, because the whole time until now, I've been doing the best I could. I've been giving everything I know how. And no matter what I do, I still don't see reaping anywhere in the forecast. So, God, I'm just trying to figure out, Lord, what are you going to do? Because if you don't do something now, I got an idea. I got an action plan. I've already put together a 10-step process to fix this situation. Yeah, it won't fix what I'm in, but it'll fix how I feel. Oh, that blessed me right there. It's not going to get me where I want to go, but it's going to fix how I feel. And so right now, I'm going to fix how I feel. And so I feel some kind of way because I'm doing this good. So if I stop doing good, I'll stop feeling some kind of way. So, Lord, that's when you find yourself struggling. And that's when, if you're not careful, you'll just say, bump it, turn left, let me off the next exit. I don't need a rest stop, just drop me off somewhere. I got a few dollars in my pocket. I'll call somebody to get me back to the crib, because right now, what you're asking me to keep doing, I can't take it any longer. And because I know that y'all have been there before, I just want to tell you what Paul said. Paul said, be not weary in what? Wait a minute. You mean to tell me when I feel like jumping ship, you're not telling me it's coming in 7 days and hold on and give me $25 and a miracle will come tomorrow about this. No, the word is hold on, don't quit. Lord, tell somebody I can't quit. Lord, tell somebody I can't quit. I can't. I just got to hold on to this, because in the midst of holding on is the only way I can get to due season. Lord, have mercy. Tell somebody I've got to get to due season. Because due season is guaranteed, but only to those who don't quit. Lord, if you quit, you never get to proper time. And due season is not based upon chronos, but based upon kairos time. It's not based upon things happening the way you thought they would. The due season is not based upon things ticking down the clock 1 to 5. But due season comes when you hold on to what God has told you to do. Due season only comes when you find yourself holding on when you feel like quitting. Due season does not come just because everything feels good, Mother McAway. But I only get to due season when I learn how to go through my quitting time. When other folk are blowing the horn saying it's time to bail out and quit. When other folk around me are dropping like flies flies at a picnic for the family. That's when I find myself holding things together. And I've got to learn how to fight, not to quit. Lord, man, that sounds kind of crazy, because I was fighting to keep myself going on, but I got to fight just to keep on from quitting. Somebody asked me a question and said, how do you fight not to quit? Well, you got to do whatever it takes to keep from quitting. Lord have mercy. I was reading on the internet this morning about in the MMA mixed martial arts stuff. That big dude Lachey, he had a real good reputation, and they had picked him to fight a nobody, and he was selected to win because of his reputation. But he lost an amazing feat to nobody, somebody who did not have a winning record. They had a losing record, but the superstar lost to them nonetheless. Well, I stopped to encourage somebody. If you give in to the devil, you give in to somebody with a losing record, because he's already lost 2,000 years ago, and he lost when God got up from the grave. He lost on Golgotha Hill, and he lost when the tomb was left empty. He's already lost every battle. And why would I give in to a loser? But I got to keep myself together. And I read the story about Lachey. The story told me he began to lose courage when he saw his own blood on the mat. He was not used to getting cut, Sabrina, but when he saw his blood and not the enemy's blood, it began to zap his strength. Well, I come to tell somebody, no matter whose blood you see on the mat, don't lose your encouragement, because God's getting ready to bring you out of this thing. But you got to hold on until God brings the final bell. Slap somebody high five and tell them, neighbor, tell them, don't quit. Don't quit. Lord have mercy. Grab somebody with the right hand and pull them one time and tell them, neighbor, I come to tell you today, while you feel weary, don't quit. Grab somebody else. Y'all ain't helping me preach this thing. Grab somebody's hand and tell them, neighbor, come on, preach to them. Tell them, neighbor, no matter what you're going through, tell them don't quit. Tell them don't be weary in well doing, for in due season you shall reap. How do I know I'm going to reap? Because I finished. I didn't give up. I didn't give in. As long as I finish. Lord have mercy. Lord Jesus. Look at somebody else and say, this is the last time I'm going to preach to you today. Because next time I'm preaching to myself. But look at somebody and tell them, neighbor, I feel like quitting. And I know you do too. But tell them don't faint. Because if you don't faint, you got a promise. And the promise is, Lord have mercy. The promise is, good God from on high. The promise is, you shall reap If you don't faint, Lord have mercy. I'm finished. Lord have mercy. Jesus, can y'all help me close? Preach to yourself now and say, self, we've been going through. Self, we've been struggling. Self, we've been feeling really weak. But self, we're gonna hold on. We're gonna hold on. Hold, 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 hold on, hold on, hold on. Lord, don't quit. Don't quit. I know you want to pitch a tent, but don't quit. Don't quit. I don't care what it looks like. Don't you quit. You got to fight to keep from quitting. And see, I'm about to help some of y'all. Some of you don't know how to fight not to quit. See, the way you fight not to quit means you do whatever you need to do to keep from quitting. Ain't that pretty simple? I know you want 12 steps to keep from, no, just keep fighting. Because here's the thing. In this battle, as long as you still moving, can't nobody call to fight. So the thing is, I can be on my back flat, eyes rolled up in the back of my head, blood dripping out of my nose, slob coming out of my mouth, but if I just shake my leg, the fight's still on. If I just raise my hand, the fight's